welcome you in my new video. This video is going to be about how to make friends. This is a video which I didn't plan. I got a request for this video, and so that's why I'm making it. If you also have a request for me, you can write me in the comments. And also, if you're new here, I will be really happy if you subscribe to my channel. I post topics from self-help, personal development and psychology. So this topic is about how to make friends. What I actually thought about this topic is that I think if you even get to the point where you have to ask, how can I make friends? There's already something going on with you that maybe it's like difficult for you to make friends, but maybe there's just one aspect which you quite possibly did not think about, and that is that maybe you don't even want to have friends. Don't dismiss what I said right now, because I actually prepared in this video, I prepared 4 categories and 4 major possibilities what could be happening if you have to ask this question, how do I make friends? There can be 4 explanations and 4 of my suggestions of how you can approach this topic. I'm gonna tell you the script of this video so that you can move the video where you need. So the first category of people is people who authentically really want to make friends and really don't know how. That's gonna be the first part of my video. There's gonna be advice for these people who want to have friends but don't know how. The second part of the video is gonna be dedicated to people who kind of are maybe enjoying the time that they spend by themselves, and they're not really sure if they enjoy spending time with people as much, and that's why they seek this video, and maybe they have this kind of ambivalent relationship to other people and they don't know how to explain it to themselves. I will be talking about this in my second part of the video, and I'm gonna have some theoretical psychological base for that, so I think that's quite interesting to think about it. And the third part of the video will be where I will be talking about people who authentically want to be by themselves and they don't want to be with other people, but still this question is somehow bothering them, so I'm going to be talking about this as well. And the fourth category are going to be people who are maybe not happy with their friendships, and I'm going to be talking about possible reasons. There are going to be some explanation for that there can be other reasons for this friendship than authentic reasons. And so that's gonna be my entire video. And so I will start with the first category, which are people who authentically want to meet new people but they don't know how. And so in my opinion, this is not as difficult, because I'm gonna give you examples. If you go to school, then there's nothing easier than meet people in school. Maybe you just wrote some test, and so you can ask the person who sits next to you, you can ask them, how did you do on this test? What was the answer to this question? I couldn't find it in a textbook or whatever. And you can just start talking about it. There's going to be like high emotions after the test. You're going to be maybe in this like mood where you're going to be like open to talking to people, because you're going to have to release some stress or whatever which you accumulated while you were writing the test. So maybe after the test it's going to be easier for you to connect with people. And so you can start like that, and then you guys can talk about the test, and you can go out the classroom, and then you can ask this person, hey, do you want to go for lunch with me? I'm just going to grab a lunch, you can go with me, or something like that. Then another kind of example can be if you are already in work, if you're going to work, then maybe you work with your colleagues on some project, and you just want to you just have some like tickets for a concert or something like that, and so you can ask this person like, I'm just so overworked this week, do you want to go to this concert with me? I'm going on Friday. And this person can be like, oh, it sounds interesting, I will check my schedule, and you guys can talk about it, and then you guys can go together. Or if you have some specific interest, this is actually the best thing in my opinion. If you have some specific interest, like you're going to yoga classes or aerobics classes or something like that, then you can just talk to people who go there with you. You can just start talking to a person who goes there and be like, how did you like this class? I'm not sure if I'm going to be going here. Do you think that the teacher is good? Or do you like other classes? And you can start chatting them up, and then after the yoga class you can be like, do you want to grab a cup of tea with me or something like that. Or if you're going for walks in a park somewhere, maybe you will see a cute dog and you're just gonna go and you're gonna be like, oh, that's a cute dog, what's his name? And you're gonna ask its owner what's his name, and you can start talking about dogs and going outside and stuff like that. And if you have some specific interest where you like go usually to some place, maybe you go swimming to the pool, or you go just doing some other activity like skating or whatever, you can just start talking to people who are already there and who are also doing the same activity which you like. This is the best way how you can make friends, because you're not meeting them based on some application on your phone. They're locally, they live very close to you, and that's the first thing. So that's like locally they live close to you. And second thing is that you share some common interest. Like, there's really nothing easier than talk to somebody who shares the same interest as you. And also, maybe you don't feel like going with these people immediately for like a lunch or something like that. You are afraid you're not gonna have anything to talk about, and that's understandable. That's why I think you can find your own scope of how much you want to talk to these people. Maybe you can, in the school, you don't have to go for lunch with this classmate of yours. You can just talk to them for like a couple minutes after the test, and then you guys tell each other bye and you go home, and you meet this person the next day in school. And then the next day you can talk to them again about something like some lecture or whatever. You know, you can only talk to these people when you meet them at these specific places. You don't have to go with them anywhere. And maybe if you will meet regularly somebody in school or somebody in yoga class, every time you go to yoga class you will talk to this person and nothing else, then you can already tell yourself, oh, I talked to this person in school, so I have a friend in school. Or I talked to this person at yoga and it's my yoga friend, and suddenly you have two friends. And if you don't feel like grabbing lunch or cup of coffee with them, you don't have to. You can just have your own scope, how much you're talking to them. And maybe if you see this person regularly, then after some time you can go somewhere with them. It's totally up to you. But it's best to use this like personal connection and not be finding friends on Facebook or somewhere else. Because you, in reality, sometimes you maybe don't even know who these people are. And it's always great to make connections in the real life. But if you have a friend over the internet and you enjoy chatting with them, that's also cool. I'm just talking about like specific real life situations here. It's more focused on like these situations. Because I assume that it poses you no problems to talk to people in chat rooms, because it's just easy. You don't see them. So I'm not giving advice on that, because if you have your favorite chat rooms and you chat with people there, that's cool. But you probably don't need any advice from me about it. Also, one point I would like to mention is that maybe now you're going to tell me that this is extremely difficult. Approaching some stranger somewhere and talking to them, and I totally get it. You gotta expect that this person has total right to like not to talk to you. You actually gotta approach these people in a way that you expect that they not gonna want to talk to you, but you just trying it, and then you can be pleasantly surprised when they're gonna be talking to you. You know, if you approach it with like this positive attitude, they're gonna say yes, and then they end up saying no, you're going to be really disappointed and you're going to be extremely discouraged. You got to understand that this other person has 1,000,001 reason why they can be like refusing talking to you. They maybe have some serious problems in their lives. Maybe they have existential problems with like money situation, or with their relatives, or somebody they care about has some issues, and maybe they're exhausted from work, they don't feel like talking to anybody, and you got to respect it. This is another human being, and you don't know anything about this person, and you have no idea what is going on in their lives. It can be really something difficult. And so you gotta expect that this person has a right to refuse to talk to you, and it's best to approach them beforehand with this attitude and expect it, and don't be discouraged. Because you need two people for conversation. Also, I would like to give you example from my life, because when I graduated college, I was like sending out resumes, and I remember that I felt like no one wants to employ me, and I just had to kind of change my attitude. And after I changed my attitude, that I didn't expect everybody to employ me, but I just kind of went with the flow, and I was kind of expecting that it might not work out, then a lot of tension got released, and I was kind of okay with that. The same thing might happen to if you are a boy or a man, and maybe you are used to approach girls and you get denied a lot and refused a lot, and you have to get used to hear no a lot. Again, not everybody has to like you. There's like so many people in the world, and everybody has a different taste and different life situation and different preferences and everything, and just the fact that you picked somebody doesn't mean that they have to like you back. So if you approach it with different attitude, it's gonna really release some burden. And it's really good to think about it like this. It's not only when a boy approaches a girl, or when you approach a new friend, or where you send out resumes, or you work in marketing and you maybe have to find new customers. If you work on like telemarketing and you have to approach people over the phone, also you can get discouraged when they say no. Just imagine all these life situations where this happens, and it's just surprising when somebody finally says yes. So approach it in this way. That's my rant to this first part. My second part of the video is gonna be for people who have maybe ambivalent relationship to it. Maybe they know about all these ways how they can approach new people, but maybe they still have some resistance in them. In this way, I would advise to you, start to look into this resistance, what does it really means, and maybe it can mean that you don't want to have friends and you want to be by yourself, but maybe some social norms or society is pushing you to have friends, and so you feel pressured. You feel pressured that you should have friends and it's the right thing to do, and people always seem happy when they're with their friends, but maybe you just don't feel like it. For this, I actually have a psychological theory behind that, because a psychologist whom I like, Carl Jung, he was actually describing this like introverts and extroverts, which is like a common concept. You probably know what it means. But in psychology, you can kind of look at it as either in a way that you see types of people, like one are introverts and one are extroverts, or you can see them as these kind of not typologically, but like everybody can sort of behave. Everybody can be on some kind of scale, and everybody has some portion of introvert or extrovert in them. Sometimes you can, even if you are introvert, you can behave really extrovertly. You can be really communicative when you are with friends that you know. You can seem like an extrovert, but then you like being by yourself. And also, who is extrovert can sometimes feel like they want to be by themselves, or they can be shy in some new situations. And so it's, some people see it more like a scale, but some people, like Jung, but he was like, it's kind of one of the most classical psychologists, he kind of saw it like two types. And he basically described, and this was more complex than how I'm going to be talking about it here, because I'm not going to describe his theory. I'm talking about how to make friends, so I kind of use his theory to describe what I want to describe. But I will link in the description box for you the book in which this part of introverts and extroverts is not very long. It's like 100 pages, but you don't have to read like the entire thing. You can read just the part where he describes the basics about introverts and extroverts. But basically, he says that when you are an introvert, then you approach people in a way that it kind of, you use your energy to even be able to interact with other people, while extroverts, they kind of gain energy from interactions with other people. And it's much more difficult than this. This is really simplified how I describe this. The way he writes about it in his book is much more complex and difficult, but I just described it. It's really you can really get exhausted if you are an introvert. You can really get drained of your energy when you are with people. And then maybe you feel like you need to recharge your batteries when you are by yourself. And this is something that is not like just figment of imagination. You can observe it on yourself. And I actually recommend to you observe this in yourself if this is your case. Because if you get drained of your energy, then it would be really best for you if you listen to your body kind of, and try to like be more authentic towards yourself and really answer to yourself your question, like, why do you even want to have friends? Maybe you just want to have some friends in school or in yoga class or wherever, but maybe you don't want to have like friends that would fill your entire free time, because you just need this time to recharge the batteries. And there's nothing wrong with it. People sometimes are afraid to be by themselves because they feel like there are these pressures in society and they're gonna look weird and stuff like that. But when push comes to shove, it's just your life, and it's good to focus on what you need and not what other people want you to do. And it's gonna really can make a difference. And then I have a third category here, and that is when you have really authentic desire to be by yourself. Even when you have this authentic desire, you might feel like there are these pressures from society, as I already said. And in this way, I would kind of recommend to you, take like a trial period and try to be by yourself for some time and see how it's gonna make you feel. Really, like, take like a detox from other people for like a week or two or more. Right now you have like opportunity for that because you probably should stay at home anyway, and so right now you have opportunity to explore this option in more depth without looking bad to people or weird or anything like that. You can really just focus on yourself and find out what is it that you truly authentically want. And maybe you will find out that you get so much pleasure from being by yourself that you're not even gonna care how does it look. You're just gonna know that you live a happy life for you. What does it mean to you and not to society? And maybe you're even gonna find out that you don't want to be by yourself and then you miss other people, and that your life is gonna be about finding more balance between spending time with people and being by yourself. And that can also be some way. I would tell you, don't look at it only like black and white thinking, like either you have a lot of friends or you are totally alone. There can be some gray zone, and in fact I love this gray zone because you can assimilate it to your own personal needs, and you can see that you can have friend in school and you can talk to this friend only in school, and then you can have a friend in yoga class and talk to them in yoga class, and you can have your own way how you approach friendship. And the fourth part of my video is actually when you have friends for different reasons than authentic reasons, and this can also lead you to thinking about if you even want to have friends or not. These reasons can be that maybe you are using friends as sort of this filler of free time for various reasons. Either you maybe get anxious when you are by yourself, or you get very bored when you are by yourself and you feel like you need friends to fill your time, and so it creates this neurotic need to go to be with friends when in fact you don't want to be with them, but you are more like running away from something. So it creates this kind of negative approach towards friendship when you don't look at friendship as something that you want, but as you look at it as something that you are doing to avoid something else. So there's like this difference. I hope you understand this difference, that it's like a negative way how you approach friendship because you're running away from something else. And then there's the question why you don't want to be by yourself. Are you getting anxious? Are you getting bored? It's maybe worth to figure it out, because it's really good to be able to be by yourself and know what you truly want before you approach other people, because then you can really create healthy friendships. Also, I would like to mention before I end one very common reason why people even have friends also, and that is that they have this model like in their head about what a friend should look like, and maybe they have all these requirements about, if I want to have friend, this friend should be really supportive when I need them, they should really make me laugh when I need to laugh, they should be with me when I need them the most, when I have a difficult family situation, they should maybe support me, and like when I text them, they should text me back immediately. And maybe you have all this list of requirements of what a friend should look like. And then you meet people and you kind of notice that sometimes they just don't fit your requirements. And then you can be saying things like, oh, this person betrayed me, they weren't there when I needed them the most. But what you mean truly is that you approach friendship in this sort of calculative way, where you kind of expect that somebody is going to behave certain way, and when they don't, you get pissed at them. Well, if you try to authentically know what this person truly is, then you would know beforehand, even before this situation would happen, you would know who you're dealing with. I mean, I had some friends in my life, like diverse, different friends in different situations, but sometimes one of the greatest or most authentic friendships I ever had were those when I actually saw a person who's not perfect at all, and I knew that I can't rely on this person, but for some reason I felt like that's not even what I want from this person. I felt like there were some people who came to my life for a specific reason, and they became my friends, but not in the traditional way, but in sort of a different way. I knew that I can call them at night and tell them anything, and like they're not going to support me no matter what, but it's like a piece of me saw a piece of them, and we kind of clicked in this specific way. But I couldn't look at this person and somebody who's going to support me no matter what. And I kind of knew what to expect from this person. And someone else would tell me that this is not a good relationship, I can't rely on it, what kind of friend is that? But it's like, I feel like with friends, these people don't owe you anything, and you don't owe anything to these people. And the reason why you are together, it should be because you want to be together, you have something to tell to each other, and you can have fun together, and that's enough. And like the really beautiful friendship which I had was that I didn't expect anything from this person, and I could have been really honest even when it meant that sometimes I was mean and sometimes this person was mean, and we were just really. And one time this person told me that it's really strange, but he feels really relieved that he can talk to me because he feels like he can tell me some stuff that he can't say other people. And it was really like nice thing to hear, because I thought exactly the same thing. You really gotta ask yourself, what do you really want from this friend of yours, and to really see if this person is able to follow all your requirements, because like this you can get really neurotic relationships with people, and you yourself can be really neurotic about it, to expect that this person is going to behave exactly how you want them to behave. And it's really good to get to know the person as they are, and not your model of this person and what you think they should be. And that's everything for my today's video. I think I covered all I wanted to cover. If you have any questions, please ask me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, you can give it a like or subscribe to my channel. And I wish you have a really beautiful friendships, whichever way they look. Have your own way how you approach your friendships. And I wish you a good day and good health. And also I will see you next time with my next video. Bye.